What's poppin', world? I hope all is well. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that bell so you'll get a notification every time I go live and every time I post a video. Let's get into this. Today, we're going to talk about this clip of a woman saying that men, let's just say, are insecure when they get with a quote-unquote baddie, when they knew all along she was a baddie and they knew how she was going to move. And basically, she's insinuating that men are trying to change these baddies once they get with them. Let's get into this.
Try to go after a baddie, quote unquote, try to date a baddie, and then be mad that while in the relationship, she continues to be a baddie. I don't get that. You chose her because she was a baddie, right? But now all of a sudden she's supposed to be invisible to other men around, and you're mad at her because she's cute? You're mad at her because other men are trying to talk to her? It's your insecurities.
All right, guys. So you saw that, you heard that. That was a short clip. I'm going to add a little bit more context to it to get a conversation a little bit more meat. Now, the thing about it is, when you date a quote-unquote baddie, let's just say 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Because some say that 5 is average, right? A 5 is average. I've heard some say a 5 is above average, right? I've heard people say 5 is below average. I've heard people say 7 is average, right? So let's just say you get a quote unquote baddie, right? Let's stick to, let's say, an 8, 9, or a 10, right? What she's saying is, when this 8, 9, or 10 is getting all this attention, don't be mad, don't be jealous, because you pretty much know what you signed up for. Now, in her making that statement, she's gonna have to add a little bit more context, right? So in regards to a woman, or in regards to women getting tons of attention, it all depends as to why this woman is getting all this attention. Let me lay this down. Let me lay down a firm foundation. A woman who is off the market or taken should move differently than a woman who is single. I'm going to say that again. A woman who is off the market or a woman who is taken should move differently than a woman who is single. Now, that could be in many ways, right? That can be in the way she's dressing. That can be in the events that she's attending. That can be in how she speaks to other guys and greets other guys and hugs other guys and so on and so forth, right? Deals with other guys, calls other guys, right? Deals with how she speaks to other guys on social media, right? A large category, right? We can get into a whole bunch of different components as to how women should move, whether they're single or off the market, right? Taken. Now, so she's saying that, don't be mad because you got with a baddie. Now, once again, if she's off the market, she should be moving a little bit different, or for some a lot differently than than the version of her who is single. She should be moving differently than that, right? So let's first cover that basis. Another thing, a lot of women, or most women in this day and age, they all think they're 10s, right? So none of them think they're 4s, 3s, 5s, 6s. All of them think they're 10s. So with that being said, even in regards to this conversation, she's speaking about quote unquote baddies. Well, to be honest, all these women think they're bad, right? So they are all moving in a similar way, right? You may have the exception. You might have some who are humble, right? But the exception doesn't make the rule. Most of these women, if not all, think that they're baddies, right? And I would even take it a step further and say this. Social media has ruined dating and relationships and all that good stuff, right? Because many women in the market today are very superficial, right? It used to be that woman out in Idaho, she's going to find the closest guy to her who she seems is a likable guy, so on and so forth, and she's going to get with that guy. Not anymore. Those days are over. That girl in Idaho who's bad, she's a 10, she's a 9, right? She's looking for the guys in LA. She's looking for the guys in Miami. She's looking for the guys in New York, right? Oh, so on and so forth, right? because social media has created this illusion that these women can get the perfect guy no matter where he's at, right? The guys around them is not good enough. It has created the illusion that they can get any guy in any part of the world, right? So many of these women have become superficial. Let's bring this back. I think the whole reason behind her talking about this or making this clip comes from the whole Keke Palmer situation. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, where she went to, I think, a concert in Vegas. She got on the stage with Usher, and she was dancing with him, and she had on a see-through dress where you can see her backside and all that good stuff, right? Now, her baby's father commented on her getting on that stage with Usher and saying that, mom shouldn't be wearing this and that and yada, 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 right? But it probably had a lot to do with also how she was moving and dancing with Usher and how she was in his face. Now, if her and her baby father is in a relationship, the baby father's right? She's off the market. She's taken. She shouldn't be acting like that, especially publicly with another man, right? But if she's single, you could argue both sides, right? If she's truly single, you could argue both sides. But what the woman in the video might be saying, that because she's quote unquote a baddie, don't be mad if she's getting this attention. Don't be mad if she's moving this way. Don't be mad if she's out here doing her thing and guys like it, right? She's got this to show off. She's got that to show off. Don't be mad at her, right? I could see it both ways. However, if they're in a relationship, she should not be moving that way. She should not be moving that way. So at the end of the day, we have all kinds of women acting out of line these days, right? Thinking they can get away with murder by dressing a certain way, dealing with all these guys, whether they're in a relationship or not. They think they can do what they want to do. And that's why a lot of men are saying that's not a good deal. A lot of men are not getting in relationships, not getting into marriage. You got a lot of guys getting their passports and getting up out of the United States, right? You got all this going on because the women are moving a certain way because they classify themselves as baddies, and you can't tell them nothing, right? And this even happens to be whether that woman has kids or not. Even the women with kids right now, you can't tell them nothing either. They got kids, they still think they are a single childless woman who has all the options in the world, right? It doesn't matter these days. But guys, vet these women properly before you get into relationships with them, and especially before you get into a marriage with them. Vet them properly, right? But ladies, like I said, you move one way when you're single, that should look totally different when you're off the market or taken, right? So it does matter, right? No matter if you got a baddie or not, this doesn't mean that she can do whatever she want to do, right? And this doesn't mean, oh, you knew she was a baddie, you knew she was going to get attention. Well, add a little bit more context to that. How is she getting this attention, right? Is she dressing or acting in a way that she shouldn't be doing as a woman who's off the market, right? Is she doing what she shouldn't be doing as a woman who's off the market, right? That's all I got for you guys. Like this video, share this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I might be off. Also, subscribe to the channel. We're growing fast. And remember, guys, keep God first. I love you all. Be blessed.